Netflix is now the home of a Will Ferrell sci-fi movie that performed terribly at the global box office. Best known for his comedy roles in movies like Anchorman, Elf, and Step Brothers, Will Ferrell's career as a comedian started slowly when he saw little success in the stand-up space. Even in the world of acting, Ferrell took his time to find his feet as he took small roles in TV shows like Grace Under Fire and Living Single during his early years. However, now, after being active in Hollywood for over 2 decades, Ferrell has several hits under his belt and has even been honored with many accolades and awards. Despite having a blooming career, though, the actor has seen a fair share of extreme lows. One of these lows was a science fiction film that was not only critically panned but also commercially unsuccessful. Will Ferrell's Land of the Lost is now on Netflix. What the movie is about. Land of the Lost is a sci-fi adventure comedy. Directed by Brad Silberling, Land of the Lost is a science fiction comedy movie that first premiered on June 5, 2009. Other than Will Ferrell, it also stars Danny McBride, Anna Friel, and Jorma Taccone. The film is loosely based on a 1970s television series of the same name, which was produced and co-developed by Sid and Marty Krofft. It follows the misadventures of paleontologist Dr. Rick Marshall, who falls into a parallel world with his assistant, Holly, and a survivalist, Will. In this newfound world, the three encounter some of the most absurd creatures and wildest beings one can imagine. For instance, they run into a race of lizard men called Sleestak and also come face to face with a T-Rex. During their expedition in the alternate realm, they also befriend a young Pakuni named Chaka, who is looking for his tribe. Chaka, too, then becomes a part of their bizarre adventure as they encounter everything from a giant crab to a monstrous mosquito. How much Land of the Lost made at the box office and why it underperformed. Land of the Lost's significant shift in tone from its source weighed it down. Will Ferrell's Rick Marshall pointing in a direction in Land of the Lost. Against a budget of $100 million, Land of the Lost only earned $68.8 million worldwide, making it a box office bomb. One of the biggest reasons behind the film's failure was its underwhelming critical reception. The movie still holds a disappointing Rotten Tomatoes score of 26%, with critics almost unanimously agreeing that, even though humor and adventure are supposed to be its primary selling points, it delivers neither in its 102-minute runtime. Since Land of the Lost has also been loosely adapted from a TV series of the same name, many could not help but compare it with its source material. Given how the original Land of the Lost was more of a children's show, the movie's absurd PG-13 comedy did not land well with viewers who grew up watching the series in the 70s. Apart from alienating audiences familiar with the source material, Land of the Lost is also plagued by a non-cohesive narrative and an inconsistent tone. Despite being touted as a sci-fi adventure, the film struggles to commit to one genre throughout its runtime, preventing it from having a clear target audience.